As international oil companies turn away from the large and expensive oil products in favour of other developments, there is increasing interest in natural gas. In Europe, there is particular interest in schemes aimed at supply in the UK, where the phase out of coal from the electricity generating sector, combined with falling British production of gas, provides an opportunity to develop a number of new gas production schemes. In 2015, the British government announced it would phase out coal-fired electricity generation by 2025. Last year it accounted for 9% of UK's generation, and this year's number could well be lower, especially if we've seen over 40% of UK power now coming from natural gas. A number of nuclear reactors are also due to be decommissioned between now and 2030, and part of the loss of the coal and nuclear capacity will have to be made up from more gas generation. The UK, however, is a net importer of gas, and its production is in long-term natural decline. The UK's decision to phase out coal generation by 2025 has elevated the importance of gas in its energy mix. The elimination of coal means that gas will be the only baseload conventional power option available to act as backup to the country's sizable renewables fleet. Gas-fired generation will also enjoy a favourable position in future UK power capacity auctions in which renewable energy suppliers may not participate. Shifting dynamics in the nuclear power sector could also be a win for gas. If Hinkley is scaled back or delayed, gas-fired capacity would likely step in and make up the generation shortfall. The UK's decision to leave the EU in a referendum in May 2016 is also likely to have an impact on gas demand. The flow of gas from mainland Europe is vital for balancing the British market, especially as UK's North Sea output falls and low prices, along with political wavering, defer extensive exploitation of shale gas. However, the UK can no longer assume that gas supply will be guaranteed via the UK-Belgium Interconnector post-BREXIT, and even if it was, new tariffs or pricing formulas would most likely be applied. The solutions to the problems posed by the status of the Interconnector are twofold. First, the UK could build more gas storage capacity, or it could look to import more LNG. In practice, it's likely that both will happen. Until now, gas storage has largely been a secondary market in the UK, mainly owing to the safety net the Interconnector provided. But with the risk that this may no longer be reliable in the future, gas storage has become a more strategic concern. Some of the additional gas could come from waters off the UK, where there's some potential for new finds in the underexplored area to the west of the Shetland Isles. But the chances for a really large find look presently slim. The UK is therefore going to require increasing volumes of imports. One possible supplier, perhaps on a large scale, is Russia, but any additional Russian supplies would have to come via the pipeline systems of the EU, and it's not clear what form of energy relationship the UK will have with the EU once it's left. A further complication is the bad political relationships between the EU and Russia over Ukraine, added to which is the stated desire of the EU's Commission to reduce the role of Russian gas in the EU's energy mix. One way in which this could affect increasing imports of Russian gas by the UK is if the UK wants to take gas from the proposed Nord Stream 2 pipeline. The plans for Nord Stream 2 have aroused opposition from several EU members in Eastern Europe, in particular Poland, which wants the EU to reduce its reliance on imports of Russian gas. In this, they have the backing of the EU Commission, which has sought to ban the pipeline on grounds that it will be contrary to the rules of the EU's internal energy market by preventing the EU from diversifying its source of supply. Nord Stream 2 continues to be backed by countries further west, including Germany, where the country's energy regulator has recently ruled that the line is not subject to the EU's energy laws. It had earlier been proposed that the UK would take gas from Nord Stream 2 via existing pipelines crossing Germany and the Netherlands. At present, though, the fate of the scheme is currently uncertain, and a recent move by the Danish government has indicated that it has reservations about the pipeline. All of this could prompt the UK to look elsewhere for additional supplies of gas, and one likely source is Norway, which has a triple advantage of being close at hand, having existing pipeline connections to the UK, and not being part of the EU. Norway's gas production, however, is almost certainly past its peak. Some of its older fields are already in decline, and while several new ones are due on stream in the near future, more will be needed, especially after 2020. These, however, will be likely to be in remote and high-cost fields in Arctic waters, such as the Barents and Norwegian Sea, and they may do little more than prolong the present plateau in Norwegian output. In that case, the Nord Stream 2 project may yet have an important part to play if the UK is to increase its offtake from Norway. Some of Norway's other European customers will have to import more Russian gas in order to allow Norwegians to sell to the UK. As we can imagine, this is a development the European Commission will not support and will not be enthusiastic to see.